I think it's important based on that last part of our last conversation. You can't sell what you don't offer, and the levels is a roadmap to your sales success. So you keep that in mind, and that builds that consistency in your team across the board because it's templated and it's proven. So just keep that in mind. Use that when you get your referrals. But I had originally had a half hour. I'm going to bring this down into 10 to 15 minutes for everybody. I don't have a presentation. I really just wanted to share some of my thoughts and experiences and my learning curve in my young waterproofing company that's growing significantly from one year to the next, right? So, and I've built what I have developed so far on referrals. That is one thing that I take seriously in my business. I take pride in our relationships, and I work hard to develop good quality, strong relationships with other businesses that can refer us, and in exchange we refer them back. One of the things that I love about referrals and relationship building is that it's an open door. You develop one relationship and it gives endlessly. I've only been doing waterproofing for 4 years. My company name has been in business since 1995. I have the same customer accounts from 1995 that I have today. One of those accounts does over 350 inspections with my company every single year for the last, whatever that math is, 26 years. It's one relationship. So the value of networking is imperative to your success. And my story for 2020, and one of the ways that we pulled through, my waterproofing product line was up 28% in 2020. That is a direct result of our relationships. Last year, San Antonio, I talked a little bit about the same subject. And in the marketing books that were still under development, but phase 1, level 1 contractors refer back to that. This all comes back to section 11 in relationship building and trusted partners. That's the section of the book that you all have. I won't ask, but I'd be interested to know how many actually opened that book this year and started to utilize it. If you haven't, it's there to be leveraged, right? So all these experiences are there at your fingertips already. I'm simply here to reiterate that. So one example I really want to give to the success that we've had in 2020 as far as network and relationship building, the quality of that relationship is what will drive the success of that relationship. It's not a matter of meeting a guy on the street or at the gas pump and shaking their hand and exchanging cards. That's an entry-level example. What I'm talking about is relentlessly getting on the phone with a company that you want to be in with. Somebody in your market. What are the top, biggest, best businesses in your market space, in your geo area, that can complement your business? I made that list this year, and that list, home inspectors and realtors, that's common ground for all of us. I bought an environmental company a year ago, 2 months before we all shut down. And that business has opened up an unexpected opportunity for me where that company partners with restoration companies. And I got in the door and I started talking a little bit about EcoSpect as well as our environmental business, and realized pretty quickly that we have a true opportunity to be able to gain in both companies from that one business entity. The quality of that relationship is significant. So 3 key points I really want to touch on. One example I'm giving you, ServPro. Everybody knows ServPro. We have the 17th largest ServPro in the nation in my backyard. Extremely well-run organization, completely put together. One of the things that he said to me is we are endlessly and constantly refining and improving our business. And that's true of any business model, any size, any type. Every single one of us in this room are always refining our businesses, right? And break it down into categories. But today, let's focus on refining our relationships. that one particular company that I spent the time with to get in front of and brought donuts to and talked with them, they gave us 10% of our business in 2020. One relationship. That's huge. I would have not have been up 28%. I would have been lower, right? So, but the quality of that relationship, and by the way, it's still giving. Dave sold 2 jobs this week from that same company. That basically is transparent across that industry. So tap into your restoration companies, your mold mitigation companies. I know there's a mold company in here somewhere.
That's how we pretty much found them.
Okay.
They were a trusted friend and referral partner. And Knowlton referred you guys for a long time, and then light bulb came off, and
It's awesome. That connection is significant.
So we got a contract out of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
So what I've done in my trusted partners is Steve's always talking about maintenance for longevity with your customers. What can we do to create longevity with our trusted partners? It's more than just a referral, right? We're all in business to make money. So how can we complement this to leverage it so that ServPro's sales guys are essentially working for EcoSpect? And that's exactly what we did. When I make a sale, I give them a commission. We give them a check. I have a sales agreement with them. And we're leveraging that with new contracts and new industries and new partners. You have to be careful. Real estate, at least in New York, code of ethics, you can't do that. But you just understand your regulations before you jump into it. But we give them a percentage of every job. I don't eat that cost. I take a $10,000 job and I add on the percentage that I give them, and that's their commission. It works. This actually went 3rd tier yesterday. Sarah received a phone call from one of our restoration companies who referred a home inspector, and she said to me on the phone, she said, I've been giving away, I'm going to get my statement correct here. She said, I have a home inspector that I know really well that has been referring another environmental testing company to write the protocols. I want him to use you because I know you'll refer us. Does that make sense? So she went out and she found a trusted partner for me and connected us because she knows that we'll get referrals and we'll give referrals back, right? So once you really start to get this momentum going, you get those connections built out. They have to be genuine, they have to be sincere. Obviously you have to take care of their customers. When I refer anybody in this room, I take that personally, and I won't refer you if I don't trust you. That's the bottom line. I know contractors in my market begging for my referrals, and I will not refer them. So you have to have good quality, standards and the ability to service that customer to meet the expectations of how well that referred company treats their customers, right? You got to treat them equal to or better than that company would. That's simply put. But that's really what I wanted to just touch on, and just the value and the importance of doing that is significant. It's so significant in my business. If you run my numbers, 76% of all of my jobs are referral based.
Wow.
I spent $79,000 last year on internet advertising to get 24% of my business. What side of that do you want to be on? If that's not enough to sell you on the importance of referrals, I have conversion rates, third-party sources, your Home Advisor, Yelp, all that stuff. I shut it off this year actually, but historically that's 10%. 1 out of 10 jobs sell. It's done. It's off my table. I don't want them. You look at our website leads. Depending on your sales guy, but you're maybe 35. If you've got a good guy, you might be 40% conversion rate on that. If you look at our referral leads,
70.
I personally am 92%. My sales guy is 80%.
Wow.
8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 jobs are selling, and I didn't pay for those leads, right? So that $79,000 I spent in 2020 to get 24% of my business. Again, just do the numbers and the math on that. The conversion rates, the cost of leads, and all that stuff. it's important. You have to do it. You've got to be on Google. You've got to be with Dan's team. You have to run all that stuff we're talking about. There's no way around that, really, if you want to continue to grow. But I just put huge emphasis on referrals in our business because it's proven to work. And that ServPro account cost me 3 of my team members 4 hours to do a presentation a year, 12, 14 months ago.
And a box of donuts.
A dozen donuts,
Yeah.
yeah. And a commission. I give them a commission, but
Just,
still.
one thing I would, and this is just me, but, if you were to call that a consulting fee versus a commission, you'd be better off if the government gets involved.
Well,
So,
I call it a referral fee.
Yeah.
That's technically what I call it. I'm saying
Consulting.
commission to you, so it rings home, but actually it
Yeah.
is written as a referral fee.
Yeah.
Against the code of ethics, it puts us both in a situation we don't want to be in. So it's not a money factor. What it is, it's a service factor. I've been in real estate since 2003 through a home inspection company, and I know that industry very, very well, probably better than my own waterproofing industry. But when it comes to realtors, especially the top sellers, they're super busy. Try to get 2 minutes of their time and you're fortunate. What they want to do is shoot me a text and forget about it. They know through the whole process that it's taken care of. You cannot drop the ball if you want to be in on real estate. You've got to be consistent, timely, reliable, and have the value. If you want that industry to work, that's imperative. I mean, you have to be on top of it with really high service. If they have to follow up with you, you're going to lose their business. That's just what's going to happen. So I'd be happy to talk more about that. I know I don't have much time, but I really want to touch on those, what I feel are important parts, and I'm happy to have a sideline with anybody that would like to do that.
Adam, I'm so glad you brought this up because we've been emphasizing referrals. Like you, it's top quality, not only for quantity, but for quality. This year during the pandemic, we realized, Michael, Melissa, that we were getting cancellations. And when we did our punch down list, which I'll show later, we recognized that referrals had the least amount of cancellations.
Right.
And they had the
lost
higher
the
closing
audio.
rate.
So there's no audio.
for the last hour.
Oh boy.
I just got a text that they lost all audio at 12:51. A little longer ago, about an hour ago.
No, Joe fixed it. Oh, he did? Yeah, that was,
So going back to what you're saying.